All right, Steve Kent, you won the Dirt Cup twice.
Yep.
Talk us through what the Dirt Cup was to you back then, and how incredible it was to win that two times.
It was like that was the race of the year that we wanted to win. Feel cheated because it didn't pay $100,000 to win back then, but it was one of those things we kind of planned our whole year around. Took me quite a few years to win my first one. Um, we had a lot of chances and got taken out in lap traffic and stuff like that, but finally got it done once for Dave Helm and once for Roger Henderson.
Now, when you won your first one in '94, you had to wait all the way to 2001 to win it a second time.
Yep.
Throughout the span, it seems like when you talk the Knoxville Nationals or anything else, like if you win one, you win another one, like bam, right in a couple of years after. Was it stressful being a handful of years and not winning it, or were you out on the road traveling and maybe weren't at all?
We were out on the road, after I won it there with Dave, we were out on the road quite a bit and everything, but it was one of those things that I can't tell you how many times I was high point guy going into the final night and then get taken out by a lap car or something like that. And just, it was, every year we kept getting closer and closer, and I ran second, numerous times. And then I won. And then I ran second a couple other times after I won. And just, we were always really good up there, really fast. It just seemed like it was really hard for us to put the whole weekend together year after
Right.
year.
So Brent told us that he actually remembered a lot of the losses more than he remembered the wins because they hurt so bad. And you've talked about having a lot of heartbreaks leading up to that. Are you the same way? Do you remember the heartbreaks more than the wins?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I remember, I remember when it was all about on your qualifying night. The heat races used to be like 15 laps long, back when I first went up there, and you wanted to be quick time or second quick to start in the first heat race of your qualifying night. You ran either Thursday or Friday. And if you won the first heat on Thursday night, you started on the pole on Saturday. And I remember one night it was Leland McSpadden and I starting on the front row of the first heat race. I ended up in the fence, and afterwards I asked him, what was that for? And he said, I had to beat you to the top, bud. And so that was my whole weekend. It was kind of out that lunch after that. So there's many times I ran second when I thought I had the better car, and just didn't happen.
I do feel like the Dirt Cup has always been such a cutthroat race. Like if you have one little mishap through the weekend, you could pretty much be fucked the whole week.
Yes.
And incredible, like guys that have won it twice. There's very few people on the list that have won it more than one time, and the guys that do, it seems like they can rack up 2, 3, 4 of them, and they've run well through a long time. So it's incredible you were able to put yourself in a position so many times to nearly win it and win it twice.
Yeah. It is like that. It's all about, now you run the whole weekend up there, so you kind of got to be on your game the whole time, and get as many points as what you can. When I first started, like I said, when I first started going up there, your whole shot was your heat race on your qualifying night, and that was it. And and back then, top two went to the main event on Saturday. Heat races can get stacked at times, and you run third, which is usually decent in a heat race. You're in the B, and it was a little tough, and it's just one of those places that you could be, fast, and just something takes you out, and just, whether you get a tire, you bang her off the fence, one too many times. The way the racetrack used to be, you'd hit the fence coming off of 10 times during a main event. And if you didn't hit it, you weren't going fast enough, and it was just one of those times they would bite you and you get a flat tire or something like that. And it just, yellows at the wrong time. And, the double file restarts that they used to have with the leader out front used to do his own thing. And you could cheat and get as many spots as you wanted when they lined everybody back up, and it was like, hey, if they don't catch it, we'll just go with it. But, you'd be out running, get a good lead, and, you could watch a scoreboard and see who was behind you. And, sometimes you really weren't happy when yellow came out and you had somebody that was pretty quick sitting right behind you. So, it's one of those deals that it's a tough race to win. It's a very, it's a nice feather in your hat when you do win that race.
Now, was it tougher in '94 or 2001 when you won it, or was one more special than the other?
They're both about the same. I mean, I would say the other one I wrote for Henderson was tougher. We started sixth, and just we got going real good. And I remember we were kind of like stuck where we are. We were running like fourth or fifth, and we had a red flag. And Roger, he come out to the car and he's like, what can I do? And I told him, I said, dude, if you can free me up a tick, these guys are done. And he freed me up a little bit, and man, we just took off, and the car was so nice. But it was just that was one of those years when usually you want to start on the front row there at that place. It used to be a lot more top dominant than what it is now. So, you start up on the front row, get to the top, and it was going to be hard for somebody to get around you, to where, that weekend we had to start sixth, and we got up there, and that was pretty special. Roger, his team wasn't, the highest funded team. Don't get me wrong. We had good stuff. We had really good stuff, but it was good for him. It was good for me. And yeah, they're both special though. Anytime you can win a race like that, it's just like, I did it. Yeah.
Now, winning the Dirt Cup, where does it rank on your accomplishments in your career? I mean, you've won, pretty much everything there is to win as a driver on the West Coast, but you also had an all-star win, and you've won some shit. Where does it rank for you?
It's up there. It's one of the highest things for me. I would say, between that and my first King of the West championships that we won right off the bat, and all the Calistoga belt buckles I have, that's a pretty cool deal. But Dirt Cup is one of the, like I said, it was the thing that we set our year around every year, that's what we wanted to go do. And you wanted to be fast, and you wanted to be on a roll when you left California heading up that way.
So Dom and I were talking while we were waiting for you to come on, and we think you're probably the only guy to have won Dirt Cup as a driver as well as a chassis manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. My son and I, Stephen, we put everything we have into our chassis shop here and everything. And to get, we're not out to build 300 cars a year. We build specialty cars for each race team, and to see our stuff out there and running well, and having people maybe struggle and then get into our cars and go better, it really means a lot to us. And we take a lot of pride in what we build. And it's a nice accomplishment. You learn things over the year, and years of having race cars. And I remember getting race cars, and you'd get 3 brand new cars, and nothing would fit from car to car to car. So we took and we made sure that everything on our cars fits from car to car, whether it's a brand new car or something that's 2 years old. So we take a lot of pride in what we do, and it feels really good to see them running up front. And when they win big races like that, it's a big deal for us, and puts a smile on our face, and makes coming out down here in Weldon Chassis on Monday when it's 110, it makes it a little bit more bearable.
So if you go through the history of the Dirt Cup, Skagit is a track where you need to have a badass race car if you even want to think about winning it. Mm-hmm. You're obviously building cars, and you've won Dirt Cup twice. How much of your advantage at Dirt Cup do you feel was your technical understanding and knowledge?
Well, I like to think I have a lot of knowledge of the place. I've ran a lot of races up there and everything. But the first time I went up there, I came home calling that place, the dirt up there, silly putty. It looks like it's wet, and it blows dust the minute that the tires spin on it, and so it's a little different. We used to go up there, and pretty much, all the California teams would go up there and kind of dominate up there. And I think it was just, we ran a lot more than what the local Skagit guys did and everything. You guys got a lot of rain outs, and, you pretty much just had Skagit up there where we ran every weekend. And now you got some pretty good teams up there, and everybody's got good cars and good motors. We get to race a little bit more, maybe about the same, but, I want to think that I know how to get around there, but it's been a bit since I've been up there. And, the tire deal's changed. That's a big deal. The tires, we had such good tires back when I was racing and everything. We didn't think so, but compared to what we have now, we really had good tires.
I was going to say this year you guys have won 5 of the 7 NARC races with KCP chassis or KBC chassis. Sorry. What do you think your chances are of winning this between DJ and Justin, as well as your other guys? I mean, I feel like right now over the last couple of years, your guys' chassis has been the most superior car in California and the West Coast.
Well, I'm hoping that the '88 in car comes in first, but you know, I mean, I'm turning the wrenches on that and everything, but you know, it's just I think our chances are really good. You know, Justin was lights out last weekend at Chico, so I mean, you know, he'll be tough to beat. You know, Corey won't be there this year, so you know, it maybe leaves the door open for one of my other guys to win. So I'm looking forward to having our cars up front and doing whatever I can to help our guys out to get up there.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Steve. Thanks for being on with us.
Yep,
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Yep, thank you.